When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die, or live long enough to see your allies turn on you. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 betrayals on Game of Thrones.
Your Grace!
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the most shocking backstabs from the first 6 seasons of this jaw-dropping fantasy drama. This list is dark and full of spoilers, so a spoiler alert is now in effect. If you're not caught up, neither the old gods nor the new can help you. You have been warned. Number 10. Arya betrays the Faceless Men.
As I expected.
Shame. The girl had many gifts.
Arya first betrays the cult of assassins known as the Faceless Men by killing Sir Meryn Trant for her own vengeful reasons. As punishment, her sight is taken away, and her training becomes much more brutal and severe. Arya's sight is eventually restored, and she's offered a second chance to appease the many-faced god. Her target, a beloved actress named Lady Crane. Arya has a change of heart, however, and decides to warn Lady Crane instead of killing her. Her actions not only go against the code of the Faceless Men, but also result in Arya facing off against the Waif and nearly meeting her demise. But not today, God of Death, not today. Number 9. Ramsay kills his father.
My lords, Lady Walder has given birth. A boy. Red-cheeked and healthy.
You don't get called the bloody bastard without good reason. In Westeros, those from noble houses born out of wedlock don't have claim on the titles of their fathers. Ramsay's bastard status is eventually changed, of course, and he's named Roose Bolton's true heir.
I will be worthy of you, father.
However, once his father remarries, Ramsay knows that his position is in jeopardy. After learning that Roose's newborn child is a boy, Ramsay doesn't hesitate to kill his own father. Despite her pleas for mercy, Ramsay also releases his starving hounds on his stepmother and infant half-brother, taking the title of Warden of the North in the most bloody and brutal way. As if we needed another reason to despise this guy. Number 8. Tommen teams up with the High Sparrow.
Queen Marjorie has already atoned for her sins by bringing another into the true light of the Seven.
After the High Sparrow betrays and imprisons Cersei, she's forced to endure the humiliating Walk of Shame, administered by the very group she propelled to power.
She will cast aside all pride, all artifice, and present herself as the gods made her.
In an attempt to uproot the terrifying Faith militant and spare Marjorie the same humiliation, the Lannisters and Tyrells team up to end the High Sparrow's reign. Too bad he's way ahead of them, arriving at the Sept with an army. The Lannisters and Tyrells learn that King Tommen has agreed to unite the crown and the faith, providing them with unprecedented power.
The crown and the faith are the twin pillars upon which the world rests.
Tommen's betrayal leads to Jaime's dismissal from the Kingsguard and the eradication of trial by combat, condemning his mother to be judged by the faith.
We have determined that Loras Tyrell and Cersei Lannister's trial will be held in the Great Sept of Baelor on the first day of the Festival of the Mother.
Number 7. Jon Snow betrays Ygritte.
You were right the whole time.
When Jon is tasked with infiltrating Mance Rayder's army and gaining their trust, he doesn't expect to fall for the feisty wildling Ygritte. Jon's loyalties are repeatedly questioned, and when he's asked to prove his allegiance to the wildlings by killing an innocent man, he refuses and flees. This betrayal hits Ygritte the hardest, since she's always defended him and firmly believed he was on their side. It's a heart-wrenching scene since both realize where they stand, and love isn't enough to keep the two together.
I know you won't hurt me.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Also, talk about the worst breakup. He chooses his brothers of the Blackened duty over her. We don't fault Ygritte for shooting arrows at the bastard who broke her heart. Number 6. Jorah Mormont betrays his Khaleesi.
That wine merchant tried to poison me because of your information.
I stopped you from drinking his wine.
Man, Daenerys just can't catch a break. She couldn't have anticipated that one of her most trusted advisors had been betraying her from the start. Jorah's betrayal is uncovered when Ser Barristan opens a royal pardon meant for Jorah as a reward for spying on Daenerys.
What's this? A royal pardon. Signed by Robert Baratheon.
Jorah confesses his deceit, but swears that his growing respect and admiration for the Mother of Dragons has made him a true believer in her cause.
You will drink.
Disgusted by Jorah's treachery, and the fact that he was aiding the people who killed her family and stole the throne from House Targaryen, Daenerys can't stand to even look at the man, and exiles him.
You have until dusk to collect your things and leave this city. If you're found in Marine past break of day, I'll have your head thrown into Slaver's Bay.
Number 5. Theon betrays Robb and steals Winterfell. Ever do something you ended up regretting? Theon has many regrets for betraying the Starks, especially Robb, who trusted him to gain support from the Iron Islands.
Make your choice, Theon, and do it quickly. Our ships sail with or without you.
Once there, Theon is desperate to gain his father's approval, deciding to change sides and attack the North while Robb's forces are busy fighting the Lannisters. Theon has the chance to send a warning to Robb about the Ironborn attack, yet he burns the letter, deciding that his loyalties lie with his family rather than the Starks. You know, the family that adopted him and raised him as a ward.
You all know me! Aye, we know you for a steaming sack of shit.
The Ironborn capture Winterfell, and Theon proclaims himself the Lord of the Castle, holding Robb's younger brothers as hostages.
The castle is mine, but these people are still yours. You'll yield to keep them safe, to keep them alive.
Number 4. For hands of gold are always cold. For a guy who spent most of his adult life in the beds of one brothel or another, Tyrion really should have learned not to let his guard down around prostitutes.
I know that he's guilty. He and Sansa planned together.
Tyrion loves Shae deeply and unconditionally, but breaks off their relationship when he fears for her life. Shae doesn't handle rejection well. During Tyrion's trial, Shae's testimony is filled with lies about him, condemning her former lover to death and forcing him to choose a trial by combat as a last resort for his freedom.
I saved this city and all your worthless lives. I should have let Stannis kill you all.
After his escape, he finds her in his father's bed, and that gives him a chance for a very definitive breakup. Number 3. Littlefinger turns on Ned Stark.
Is Lord Renly joining us?
I fear Lord Renly has left the city.
This is the betrayal that sent a massive ripple effect throughout the Seven Kingdoms and beyond, which is still felt 6 seasons later. Despite the fact that Ned Stark doesn't fully trust Littlefinger, he enlists him to bring the City Watch over to his side for the imminent conflict against the Lannisters.
We stand behind you, Lord Stark.
However, at the last second, the City Watch turn on Ned, kill his men, and arrest him, revealing that Littlefinger's loyalty was with the Lannisters all along. Ned's attempt to play by the rules in a very dangerous game leads him to be branded a traitor and executed, his head placed on a pike outside the Red Keep. Ned, buddy, didn't Littlefinger tell you not to trust him?
I did warn you not to trust me.
Number 2. For the Watch.
The Wildlings will never fight for Stannis. I told him before.
You saved their bloody lives.
Being the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch is a thankless job, as you have to make difficult decisions while also trying to maintain order and morale. Jeor Mormont's death at the hands of his own men gone rogue is quite brutal, but the death of Mormont's successor, Jon Snow, scores bonus betrayal points for being calculated and literally gut-wrenching. Jon's brothers turn on him because of his controversial decision to let the wildlings through the wall to help defend against the White Walkers. Unarmed and helpless, Jon is repeatedly stabbed for the sake of the Night's Watch. It's heartbreaking to watch him as he tries to stand, as young Ollie, whose village was pillaged by wildlings, delivers the final blow.
For the Watch.
Before we reveal our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Thank you, Xaro Zoan Doxos. Thank you for teaching me this lesson.
Number 1, The Red Wedding. Here's a tip. If you make a promise to the Freys, keep it. Walder Frey, still bitter that Robb broke his vow to marry his daughter, shows the King of the North some twisted hospitality. A joyful union between Robb's uncle and one of Walder Frey's daughters ends with a dizzying death toll that includes Robb's pregnant wife and most of Robb's men.
The King in the North arises.
Catelyn Stark begs Walder to spare her son, but he's unmoved by her tears. Roose Bolton, Robb's own bannerman, reveals his allegiance with the Freys and Lannisters by killing Robb, thus snuffing out the Northern Rebellion. Catelyn soon joins her son, making the decimation of House Stark by the Freys and Boltons our top betrayal.
The Lannisters send their regards.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.